Right now, they're talking about the other pieces that they're doing for what we call the oligarchy. The rich is not wanting to pay taxes. They do not want to give black people a piece of the money. So you and I got to find out and do some research on where the money is so we can start fighting for our peace today.
And how would you go about doing that, sir?
Right now, I need the budget from my representatives to tell me where the money is, those that we sent to represent us. I want them to bring the budget back of everything that the government is spending, and let's isolate it and see where my piece is. And then on top of that, while people are throughout this 50 states are beginning to march and fight for the system, me and you need to be able to protect each other, but also whatever lane you're in, get out and help us fight this today. So in the morning, join some organization that's fighting in the way you believe to help liberate us. We need bodies. Did you look at Roland Martin's video with Reverend
Yes.
Barber a couple of days ago?
Yes.
Go on YouTube and look at it again. But we need action, and we need all of us to roll up our sleeves and find some place to get in where we fit in.
I'm hearing all of what you're saying, but you have not put a exact foundation in order for that to happen.
My foundation is every one of us from whatever lane you're in. If you're part of a group, let's put a representative to the table where you and I can talk about fixing this. We're already talking about the media, which is with Wanda and other media that we're connecting her with to make sure that anything that says negative about me, that we're going to make sure we take that same word and make it a positive and move forward with it. But we got to do action and verbal.
Okay.
Creative in us.
Okay. Hold it 1 second. Let's have our newcomer, Cy, introduce himself and tell us a little bit about himself. And then we'll go on with the conversation. Cy, welcome to the group.
Hey, Superstar Wanda. So Cy Smith, I'm the founder of the National Block Club University, and I'm listening so far to the conversation, and I think it's and not or. What we have to do as Black people to move forward, and looking forward to diving in and giving my 2 cents to the debate or to the conversation.
All right. All right. So we're talking about the status of the U.S. government. And Dr. Spivey was taking us on a journey back through history to today to explain why we're in the state that we're in. And Obi is saying, okay, we know where we're at. Now, what are we going to do about it so that we can economically sustain ourselves? So we need to go from that perspective in terms of how do we address the issue that we are facing today with the U.S. government.
Let me add one more point, and then I'll be one that'll be quiet for a minute. I'm repeating this. Every dollar that is being spent, wherever that money is, some of us got to research it, and I've been putting that message out, but we need to know where the money is that is and where my peace is, so that we can fight for our peace with knowledge. We don't have any information on how much money is being spent or taken away. The people that they just laid off from the federal government, those are my cousins and uncles and nieces. This stuff is happening to us right now. We're boycotting companies that are talking about doing away with our presence. We need to get busy fighting for that. So we put message out in reference to that. If anybody have not been getting them, then leave your information with Wanda, because we got certain days that we're not spending money with Target and we're not spending money in other situations, but we're also fighting from A to Z.
All right. So now, Dr. Spivey is a part of the World Court, and he is coming to us this evening to explain to us from their perspective what it is that's going on today. So Dr. Spivey, if you could relate that information to us in terms of how we can address what's going on with us today.
If I may, I have been honored to take a seat. First, and let me do this. For those that have no idea, no relativity to the World Court, it is the overseers of the United Nations that represents this continent. But since you don't know what the World Court is,
some of us do.
I would invite you to go look it up.
No, some of us do. I know what it is. I'm familiar with the United Nations.
And what would that be that you know, sir?
Okay, what we know right now is that the United States is trying to make sure that they boycott South Africa because South Africa is closing down their ports to Israel. I want us to figure out how to protect the black folks throughout the diaspora so other ethnicities cannot jam us and close us or cause us issues because we're being affected by the mother country as well as right here. But also, to answer your question even more specific, I had medical supply company I sold all over the world. I understand tariffs and everything else, but that's not the issue. The issue is today we got to fight from all fronts. So if you got an idea about the World Court, how does it fit? And I'm looking for my piece. And it do fit. Now, I don't want you to think I'm poo-pooing that because our relationship with the mother country is very vital. We need to encompass the whole process. So I'm with you, but I just want you to know some of us understand those concepts.
Okay. Did you have something to say, Si?
Yeah. I want to just put this out there so people would know what exists. Chicago, the 20 black zip codes in Chicago have been strategically aligned. Every zip code to a different U.S. city, every zip code to a different profession, every zip code to a different country in Africa, every zip code to one of the G20 member nations. And from that structure, we want to do the census so we know what we're working with. And the census is done under something we call rate. That's retirees, adults, and youth. And the census is so we'll know by zip code who are the retired nurses, who's the 40-year-old nurses, who are the 9-year-olds that want to grow up and be a nurse. And from that structure, the goal is to have people operate in the lanes in which they are organically suited for. So when we talk about World Court or anything of that nature, to us, that falls under the lawyers network, that falls under the judicial network. And who are those 12 and 13-year-olds who's going to grow up and be the next generation of that? So I say all that because too often what I've found in my work is that we as a whole have spent too often all our eggs in the fight basket. And I believe we have to be balanced. What have we built? So I believe we got to build and fight, because if everyone is over here fighting, what do we have that's built? And I think that it's blasphemous that we don't have our list block by block all over this nation of who's good at what, who does what. And so when we out there fighting, to me, we're fighting without having the best people in the fight. And those best people are not coming to the meetings. The best people are frustrated with our community, so they have to be reached door to door and block to block, because they have a certain perspective that the people that's in the forefront are either getting paid to do it, have ulterior motives. And so I see us having some of the Michael Jordan sitting on the bench.
Can I ask you a question? Do you have a way of extrapolating that kind of information to get to us? Because we're ready for that. That kind of information and research is definitely what we need as we go moving forward. So if you have a way to just a number that if you need some help to get it, then give me the number and we'll move forward. Because what you're saying is actually the fact.
Yeah, with all due respect, though, before any exchange, the leaders have to be on the same page in terms of how we're going to respect the people who might not agree with us, how we go respect the people who might be a phone person and not a door-to-door person, you know, because what's happened to me in the past is we've linked people and the leaders overworked them and they threw their hands up and said, "Si, I don't want to deal with none of that no more." And that's what we don't want to do, is burn out people who got a skill set and a network to bring to the table. But the leaders need to know how to maximize people's gifts without burning them out. And so that's what I'm always on guard about.
I agree with you. Now, let me give you a quickie leader. I'm a leader. You know how many people I got following me? 3. The issue is you're absolutely right. So whatever lane you're in and your cause is about uplifting your Black community, then let's connect and get in where I fit in. So when I ask you for the number, I might not do the kind of work that you think ought to be done, but I will donate and do whatever other ways I can participate in my lane. Because I got an idea on the fix, and we need more than one idea for the fix. So I don't agree with you. But I am prepared, and other people on this panel are also partly doers. And we're already doing some things.
Yeah, and I respect that. I definitely give my number so everyone had a number. And I think the doers, the people who've been out there doing, we thank God for you guys holding down the fort. And we do got to make sure the next generation is in the pipeline, so that way when God call you home, we can sustain and keep going.
How old are you? How old are you? Let me ask you that.
I hit 50 January 10th.
Okay, let me say this to you. Travis will tell you, and Wanda will tell you, I don't want you to get my age with this conversation. Let me tell you my age. I'm 89.
What?
So I don't
God bless you. God bless you. Yeah, God bless you. That's longevity.
So when I was 50, we talked the same way. So I'm trying to get us to change the message. So I'm glad to see you on point. But yeah, let's exchange the 50 and the young, because I'm your history.
Okay, gentlemen. Dr. Spivey, you want to take us back to what it is the World Court is telling you to share with us?
Did you get a chance to see the Restore Republic?
Did I get a chance to see it?
Yes.
I didn't get a chance. I know you sent it to me, but I didn't get a chance to see it.
That information is relative to this journey.
So should I?
The one thing that the brother just came on said that is the most profound basis of anything that exists on this planet. Structure, foundation. If your foundation is weak, you are in trouble. And I would say that this foundation that you're looking to build needs to be that of the strongness and the assurity of what you're going to do. Just haphazardly just going to have a conversation about something that is not relative, they'll look at you like you are crazy.
Okay.
What's going on in the world right now? All of the theft, the city that has taken place. And I said in the beginning, what are we witnessing right now goes all the way back to the Civil War. That's what you're witnessing right now.
Okay.
The things that are being talked about behind the door. And they're putting structure in place. Because all of these programs that they were funding, none of that money actually went to any of those projects. And we're talking billions. One of the things that's on the top of the table right now, this war that's going on with Ukraine and Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine is in Russia. It's not a country off to its own. And the reason why that war is going on, money laundering, human trafficking, and one of the things that's going on in Ukraine is, the last I heard, they had 85,000 children that's been missing. And what they're doing with these children is removing them and drinking their blood. It's called adrenochrome.
Mm.
That's what's going on in Ukraine, that everyone has a passion for.
Dr. Spivey, right?
Yes, sir.
So, in addition to that, would you say the LGBT agenda and pornography and pedophilia would you say that as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Can I make a comment? One, I don't want to talk too much.
You know, when this election took its course, and I was asked, am I Democrat or Republican? Who am I voting for? You know what my response was? I'm voting for God to assist to clear up this madness that's going on this planet.
Mm.
Dr. Spivey, I think that Obi had a question or a statement.
Yeah, my statement is, where is my money? You mentioned Ukraine. I asked when Joe Biden starts sending money over there, when they send money to Israel, when they send money to AID, wherever they're sending money, they're sending my piece of the money, and I don't know what my piece of the money is.
Can I help you with that? Your money.
Mr. Obi, if I may, sir.
Yes, you may.
I started my presentment in the acknowledgement that we, from birth, was ill handled from birth.
Okay.
That your birth certificate went directly to the government.
Okay, I don't want us to go there, Mr. Ivy.
Well,
because right
see,
now,
if you don't know what you're connected to, how you gonna go fix something?
At 89, I'm probably older than you, and if I'm not, I know what you know. That ain't the issue. Today, the fight is how are we gonna get off the economic bottom today with a strategy that you and I can talk about. The young man just came on that was 50 years old, says that he's got some process or program that us 80 or older folks ought to see what it looked like so we can get them in march and fight and fix this. We don't need, if we need a history lesson, you part of the circle, so we got 360 leaders in the room, so your message is part of one of the degrees in the circle. But right now, we ain't ready for the history, we ready for action.
I would like to say something, please.
Okay.
I would like to say something, please.
Okay, I ain't gonna say nothing else. But look for where our money is, because that's what's gonna get us off the bottom.
All right. What I would like to say is one of the last meetings that I attended, after the conversation was over with, I text Wanda and I spoke to her and I said to her, you have a bunch of leaders, but you don't have a leader of the leaders. And what happens is all of the time we get together, we know what one another's doing, we know what one another's all about, but have we ever taken one step collectively to get anything done?
Yes.
Collectively, not individually. Collectively.
More than five. Yes, you're talking to Wanda, you're talking to Travis, you're talking to me. We've been
collectively as a whole, what would you say we have come together
collectively
as a whole? Not just 5 or 6 of us,
No, it's
David,
more
if there's
than that.
12 of us on here, what have all 12 of us done collectively to move together? As opposed to coming
Collectively,
on these calls, saying
I'm
what
gonna
we're
answer your
doing, what we're
question. That
trying
ain't
to do, what have we accomplished collectively?
I'm gonna give you the answer. Collectively, we are part of other organizations, and we come back and we give messages, and we also putting stuff out on one.
What have that accomplished is what I'm asking. What have we accomplished?
What we're accomplishing is trying. We're like a
You
real.
steady telling me you trying to find your money. Why have we found your
No,
money yet if
you
we've
missing the
collectively
point.
done
You
something?
missing the point, young man. That when I say find my money, every budget, Trump, every budget.
But see, that's what I'm saying. See, you went back to the money. That's what I'm talking about. Collectively, what have we come to do today? What are we going to take from this conversation that we've been on here for almost 50 minutes? What are we going to physically leave from here and have?
Then you have to listen. You have to see if you can understand what I'm saying. Because
I've been listening to you. I've been listening to you.
No, well,
I
keep
just
on
spoke
for a minute.
for 3 minutes.
I'll eventually get to you. And not only will I get to you, when I say follow our money, right now, Congressman Davis spent $90 million in Maywood, and we're trying to find out where our piece is. There's another budget where other people are spending millions of dollars, billions of dollars, sending the products and services over to Israel.
Has that just started?
No, we're doing research
well,
on it now.
But why are we just researching it now? You 89 years old. You should have knew that's been happening.
Because I was stupid. Now I'm trying to change it. I'm trying to work with the young man that's 50, so we won't be stupid like we were. So yes, I'm always evolving. The age is always evolving. Nothing. The only
How long has this problem been in existence?
That's all I'm asking.
How long have we been in this situation?
Gentlemen, what is the solution? Gentlemen, what is the solution? We keep going back and forth.
That was my original question.
What is the solution?
What are we going to accomplish?
You all going to have to quit with this conversation because you're not doing anything but causing people to be unhappy and get off the line.
I'm trying to give you my idea of a solution.
What is the solution?
Let me give it to you from my perspective. Now, what your solution is? Don't just ask me, man, I got one. Do you have one? I'll give you mine.
Definitely.
My solution, I'm gonna repeat it. We're working with Wanda to get the media out so that we will be saying the same thing about how Black people are the baddest things in the world. We're also marching to make sure that affirmative action word has changed, the meaning for everything that is negative about me, that we change that. We're fighting to get the schools off the property tax. We're also working on trying to explain to you wherever money is being spent, you have a right to be there with your plurality. And we're part of Black Lives Matter and other organizations. We're part of NAACP. So we are moving in our environment. Now, that's not to have a pissing contest. You tell me what you're doing and how what you do can fit with what I'm doing so that we can make a big piece of pie. This ain't about me. It's about us. I ain't got no problem with whatever lane you're in, but hopefully your lane is the same as trying to get us liberated, not the way I'll do it, but I'm not negative about your way, and hopefully you're not negative about mine. But I do have an idea, and I just gave you one, and I can add some more to that.
Can I show you guys something? I got 2 minutes. Can I show you guys something? One, am I able to share?
Yes, you're able to share.
All right, I want to just show you guys something in terms of structure. So this here is about to come up here. We know the challenge for us as strong leaders is that we do get into debates. And I personally feel Chicago is the toughest city in the world to organize because there's so many strong leaders. And so I want to show you guys this. It says the zip code up top, but I want to point you through Sunday through Saturday. If you see that top row going horizontal, and this came about being in Chicago. So you had one leader said, we must educate or die. Education is most important. Another leader said, if you're not healthy, then you can't be educated. Another leader said, if you're getting shot and killed, you're not safe, we can't do none of it. So this 7 daily living habits that's going across, what it does, it allows us to share. What you're saying is true, but that might not be applicable to someone whose mother just passed away. So they're not thinking about educate. So this allows us to have something that repeats 52 times a year, those days, so that we can share helping each other's passion And so that way we don't fight against each other. So like when you got someone saying educate or die, I get it. You do education 7 days a week, but we go support you on Tuesday because that allows us on Monday to help the person who says safety. And when we do this by zip code, everyone in the US is in the zip code. Skid Row is in the zip code. So when we do it by zip code, that allows us to have containment, measurability, so we can measure what's happening inside the zip code. How many people in the zip code is on education? How many people in the zip code is on health? So that way we'll be in position to grow from that and go and help other zip codes. So that's what the 7 daily habits are going across. The going down teams 1 through 8 allow us to tap into our skill sets. So like business people, that's team 1. So if you're in Detroit and you're in business, that's team 1 in Detroit. If you're in Milwaukee, team 1. Let team 1 get together and talk about what we're doing to keep our $1.6 trillion inward. Team 2 is the pit bulls, the people who love to go out and hold people accountable. You don't need team 2 in certain meetings because they ready to attack. They ready to go out and make a scene. So all the teams should get on what they need done, and team 2 go out and execute. Team 3, military veterans, police, firefighters, they have a perspective. Team 4, education. Team 5, construction. Team 6 is Black people who might be married to non-Black people, who might be allies. So that allows us to know and have a bucket. So just in case there's some infiltration, it's limited inside of that team 6 bucket. Team 7 is the food. We know the poisoning of the food that's done to us. And team 8 is what I'm hearing on this call, which is the legal. So that's dealing with our lawyers, our judges, and our politicians who make the laws. So this is in every zip code that we're in and across all 20 cities. So we have this foundation and structure, and we know the time. It keeps repeating. So there's no way of killing Wednesday Economic Day. So Black people worldwide, every Wednesday, don't spend money with our enemies. There's no organization to buy off, no leader to kill. We're organized around time that's going to succeed all of us. So I just wanted to present that so you guys can see this is a global structure and it's headquartered out of Chicago.
Thank you, my brother.
Can I make a statement,
Thank you, my
Wanda?
brother.
Can I make a statement, Wanda?
Yes, you can make a statement. Yes.
This is Lavette Haynes. I'm with Westside Cultural Arts Council and also the Garfield Park Advisory Council. And one thing that I didn't hear that I think Dr. Spivey is reiterating is our culture. And because it is important to him that that truth prevails, because every ethnic group know where they came from. And it is important because it is a divisiveness within our people of who we are and what we call ourselves. And so when we say that it might not be so important, as you were saying, Obi, as you were saying that the things that you should have known then, you're correcting now. And what is our weakness is something that we need
every damn body on here is militant.
Excuse me. I didn't cut across anything.
I worry about the people. I really do. Lavette is talking now, and she just.
And so as we move forward, we have to embrace, first of all, our culture and our history, because we're the only ones that you can put us all in the same room and we'll have a different opinion. Because we were marching for DEI a couple of weeks ago. And now we're finding out that the majority of the people getting fired from DEI are white women. And so let's focus on who we are as a people, where we've been, and where we need to go, and size, concept, as far as all of those things that make us whole. I think that culture and identity is very important.
I agree with you, but I also believe in a circle. Ty just showed something that I am so impressed with. I want to meet with him because I got one other thing I'd like to add to it, and I won't do it over here. But the issue is, we all agreed that we got to do something, and Shai just gave us a blueprint that is beautiful from my perspective. But Spivey, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about Spivey. Spivey is in lane 1 dealing with culture and the Bible. I'm in lane 2 dealing with A and Z. Somebody else is in lane 3 dealing with something else. But all of us want to see our communities thrive and commit and develop and get off the economic bottom. But DEI conversation is not over. We're moving into another position, but it's not over. We're changing the meaning of what DEI means. We're changing the message that anything that's negative about me, we change that message and make me the Superman that's holding up the whole world, and he's jet black that look like me. So what we're doing is changing all the concepts that are negative about me. But I agree with you. Swivey is definitely telling us we got to be spiritual. I don't have a problem with that, but God is in us telling us to move. Now, somebody asked me how long you've been fighting. The bottom line is that we like throwing the rock in the ocean. It's a ripple, and when it get out there, it'll be a wave. But we got to keep fighting. That young man is 50 years old. And this conversation that me and you having on this program right now is not new. We had this when I was 50. We had this when I was 20. I'm saying to all of us, we don't need to keep having this conversation at 89 when you all get there and you're not there yet.
All right.
But we agree that we all got an issue. Let's fix how to fix this, and no, impossible just takes a little longer. So yes, let's keep pushing and marching. What's that? Marching up the King's Highway. Let's keep going. But let's have information where we can fight together, not take me back to the past where I made a mistake.
All right. Let's welcome Sandra to the show. Sandra, can you unmute yourself and tell us who you are? Sandra? Okay. Dr. Spivey, are you still there? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you want to give us a closing statement on what your perspective is on the U.S. and where we're at.
Where we are right now in the world is restructuring that of which been, and I gave you a point of reference. This is not just taking place just recently. What we have witnessed in our journey of life stems from the world, the Civil War. I'm talking statistics. I'm not saying what I think. I've been put in the position where I can see what has taken place and why it is going on right now. One of the things I'm going to share with this family, the vet probably knows bricks. I think at this point it's about 15 or 20 of the major principles from different countries are now merging together. They understand that not one of us on this planet is better than the other one. We all are created by the Creator. It ain't reference that you are this, that. And I recommend that Black is not a culture. I'm just speaking what I know. And you will never get a seat at the table to voice your concern. Africa has 45 countries on that continent.
50.
And each one of them knows exactly who they are. And I guarantee you ain't never going to hear them call themselves black because they know who they are. Nigerians, Ethiopians. I had a Nigerian doctor ask me one day, Dr. Clark, why you people keep calling yourself black? I almost hit the floor. To hear him say that to me when he was darker than I was. And that was puzzling to him. We are doing something to ourselves and not even conscious about it. In the creation that we were created from was spirit. Has no color, no shape, no size. But we keep walking around with some, I don't even know what it is. I left it alone a long time ago. I was striving to say to my brother, each one that's present on this call for this evening has a trust. And I guarantee you not one of you know, especially my brother. This conversation is about money. Life is about life. But since that is the conversation, each one of you has a trust from birth. It's calculated to 1 billion. And you don't even know that it exists. And because you don't know who you are, you don't even know how to go activate it.
So can you teach us?
It's getting ready to happen, whether you like it or not. It can't be stopped. All of what was being obtained, each one of you were marketed on Wall Street and you didn't know it and you never gave them permission.
Can
So
I
now
interject?
they're in the process of giving you what you never knew you had. Faith and patience. That's what's being worked on right now.
Right. George,
Wanda, I will make a point to give you that information so you can share it with the other members.
I think that at some point, you know, what's important. I think what Sai was saying is the focus. And Sai, I would need to, because I couldn't really see all the days, but there should be a conversation about our culture, our history, because our children really need to have that concept. They need to really have that in their spirit. They need to have that as part of this infinite energy that's within all of us. And when we pull back the curtains, it is really all energy. And so I appreciate this dialogue that we're having tonight, because of those that are interested in their history and their culture. You know, that's a conversation that we can have a show with Dr. Spivey where he could really explain that, because there are those that really want to know. There's those that want to know how the taxes work. Anthony Travis can express that, because all of these things affect us in some kind of way. So there's nothing wrong with everyone being able to express those ideas. And Dr. Spivey, I would like to say that there are almost 300,000 Black women missing, and or melanated women. And so that is truly something that we should be alarmed about, because a lot of us don't know. And they do statistics from like a couple of years, and in 2022 it was almost 300,000 melanated women missing. And so let's continue the dialogue. Let's continue to identify the problems and then apply solutions. And I really love the fact that we're going to be working with Side in the spring and bringing that idea to the West Side and how it works. And I've known Side, so I think I've known you now for about 30 years, and you've been committed, consistent, and effective. And that's the most important thing, is to have someone who's got a great track record of success.
Livette.
Thank you, Queen.
You're welcome.
So
if I may,
yes,
sir. Are you conscious about the CESDK account?
Negative.
Okay.
So let's have a class. Let's have a class. And Dr. Spivey, Wanda and I'll reach out to you, and we can do that forum right at the Garfield Park Gold Dome. Bring you there, or either we get a little bus load and come to you. So let's work it out, and let's not dismiss anything, but let's embrace it all, because it's so much that we have to work with. And Grady, I know Grady said that he's leaving, but Grady's focus is on agriculture. And without our agriculture, we're not going to eat. And so, it's all relative. And I'm so glad to be a part of it.
Now, Livette, Grady said, call me. Grady, I just called you, man. So I just wanted him to know I did call.
George, you had something you wanted to say earlier.
I just want to say, we've been on the phone for on the line for a minute, and sometimes we started out with the state of like our country and things of that nature, and we got off into. A lot of these things that we're talking about have a role play when we talk about being God and who we are and our culture and our Black people, not necessarily Black people, but just individual humans, because it affects us as human beings, what's being done. So that's one of the things I talked about, negative, positive energy and the time that we're in. So when I'm looking at people like Donald Trump and building on the foundation, you can see the foundation that he's building to become, or to try to become, a world empowered leader, connecting with people like Russia and others that are world dominating powers. When he says, "Where's the money?" Your money is being taken right now from people like Elon Musk and the others that's creating organizations that go in and desensitize or tear down the system of government that we're known have and we bought into. So like our Social Security, like he was talking about the Social Security cards and us being awarded to the states and things of that. They know how much money we have worked and all this stuff, and it's all when they look at the records. Like when you looked at Donald Trump last night, and we have people that's on Social Security that's 100 years old, 150 years old, 200 years old, 300 years old. That's the message he's putting out to justify taking that system out and shutting it down so that he can look at it and debunk it. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's the rhetoric he's using. You have to look at what they're doing, and everything sounded beautiful. If I didn't know no better, I'd be clapping, and everybody, the Democrats and everything, would be clapping with him, but it was really divided on one side versus the other side. As Donald Trump gets the government, as far as the judicial system, not the Democrats, but the House of Representatives and the Congress and all those people to vote with him, he's setting the stage for a massive takeover of our government and being a dictator as we know it right now. So you'll never see your money because it's starting to go out the window right now. And that's veterans, Social Security, people with disabilities, Medicaid, Medicare, and until it hits home, we won't organize as a people till it really starts affecting us, which is will soon with the food that we're eating, the resources, the health insurance and things of that nature, because it has to hit home for us to realize we've been targeted and we're not in a winning situation. And what that does is it helps us organize. So when it starts to organizing and people, we can't just run out and say, oh, let's burn up everything, let's fight, let's kill everybody white is, some black people voted. So a lot of people voted for this regime and they see one thing like it's positive to them and they can't see the negative in it, because if you just listen to what he's saying, it sounds great. If you're on the side of the people, he's talking about helping. Most of the time, that's not us. So right now, we're looking at getting rid of that, like the immigrants and other people. That's a start, because those people that are here would be fighters or people willing to go on the front line. Just like if you just do something to blacks, or our people, or people of color, we all want to get out there and fight. But like Alan said earlier, it's no real leader. You don't have the Black Panthers or Minister Farrakhan didn't even go out and speak at his Savior's Day meeting, because they probably tell people like that to shut up because there's certain things going down that they can't go out there and say with their mouths because they're targets. Okay, so there's stuff that's going down right now that's unseen, the unseen hand that's actually preparing for their new world order for the most part. So we have to really be conscious of that and really tap into really what's going on. And who ever heard of them bringing all the mayors out to chastise them about being a sanctuary city? It's been a sanctuary city since Mayor Harold Washington, but they're using that to get rid of people and to change and to get and take people and deport them, so that you won't have people that's in the mix to fight. And they put out the National Guards or whatever. It's only a certain amount of people that they actually looking to harm. So they want to get some of those people out. So you have a whole lot of people that's down at the bottom that's willing to fight. So some of the stuff that Psy's doing is good, because that's something that you can bank on if you do it correctly and get the proper information from the different neighborhoods and the different people, not just in Chicago, but around the world and around the United States, because you'll be able to know what's happening if you can be one of the ones that's putting that forth and having a solid foundation to know the people that you can trust to give you the proper information. So that being said, that's one good thing, and not being in a militant way, but knowing how to access information that's right at our fingertips. So I think that's the best thing that's happening now, is knowing and getting the information from all the different zip codes and all the neighborhoods that's around the city, and getting more people involved. And like you said, you got some people that want to fight. You got some people who want to know the economic terrain, and some people want to know the laws and the legalities and stuff like that. And it's going to take a lot of people, because right now our government's starting out fresh out the box on an attack, and you got
so
maybe eight.
So Brother George, I would say, because I'm not sure what time we got to get off, but a lot of what you shared, when we have a clean forum, I would love to give alter perspectives on all of that. What I will say is that we are the solution to our problems, not the government. And the do for self mentality, we're richer than the whole country of Spain. And so when we internalize and do for self, all type of stuff globally is going to fall apart, because they're basing all of the electric vehicles. All this comes from what they're extracting from us. So we are the drivers. And a lot of times when we go and ask master for stuff, we already hold all the cards. So I want to, encourage us to speak from a powerful perspective, because, and especially our Black women, we are the economy. The largest economy in the world is really Black women. And so out of the US, so we got to, just stick our chests out and walk in the boldness of what we have. We have everything we need right now. The issue is we out of alignment and we off schedule. Those are two things. We have everyone we need, but we're not in formation. And when you're out of formation, all type of things can happen. So I would wait till we get another call so we can have that type of conversation.
Come on,
Oh, yeah.
come on. See, sir, that's why you're on the call, brother. That's why you're on the call.
But that's why I said people like the government, once they start taking things from you, you start getting in the right formation and getting the knowledge and the education you need, because you like, where my money at? Oh, until it
But
affects.
George, watch this. But that's what happened when they changed the laws to let blacks move. The rich blacks was forced to be amongst us, but as soon as they changed the laws, we saw what their real colors were. They got up out of there. So
That's right. So you keep an eye on them from the zip code they in. You know what zip code they in. You can check them. So you used to live in this zip code.
now we got a new way. We gonna let them. They want to be around white folks. We let them be there. Just send your money back in the hood. So it's a way we can work with even people who are so-called sellouts. It's a way we can have them do their small part.
Right. They live in Country Club Hills. Make sure they support the low income of us.
Financially, because you might not want them amongst you. Just send your money.
Yeah. Don't burn up all the stores.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. We're gonna end this segment and come back again next week, and let's pick up where we left off tonight.
Well, I would like to say that women and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we're here too, and we have a voice, and we all have to be heard.
That's right.
I agree.
That's right. You have to go out there with Brandon to Washington, D.C. and be standing in there like the mayor's forum and be shouting from the rafters.
Yeah. Grady said he was there and he was so tired he couldn't stay on.
They kept on the tail attacking my brother, real couple, talking all kind of crazy stuff. So hey, you just have to stand strong, because Chicago is like ground zero.
Yeah.
What happens in Chicago, people looking at all over this country. Yeah. And Donald Trump and all of them know that. That's why they started right here.
I just hope that you guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, Wanda, for not saying hello.
Go ahead.
I just hope that you guys don't dismiss what's really going on with the federal government as the structure. I'm very disappointed in some of the conversation that I've heard, but then again, I do understand there are very few, if anybody on here that's federal. Actually, what they're doing has a huge adverse impact on the Black community. Yeah. And all communities really. But again, the Black community, and again, probably because we're not as organized or coordinated as some of the other communities are. Like you said, someone said they hadn't identified a Black leader. And I agree. I don't think there's one person that could speak out and all the Blacks in the U.S. would say, okay, let's follow and trust this person. Except for, again, they would trust Farrakhan, regardless of your religion. A lot of the younger people, and I talk about generations, various members of the generation, regardless of their religious faith, they do trust Farrakhan, have learned to trust him because they have similar beliefs. But again, it's sad that we don't have a one person that can speak out. And we buried 3 or 4 of them the first of the year when there was Sidney Poitier, Harry Belafonte. I'm a result of the civil rights movement. I can actually tell you it does work. And several of my cousins and my friends, because all of them have benefited. We live better than our parents did. And our parents live pretty good. And so did our aunts. They all own property and homes. We grew up in that environment. But to actually, what's at jeopardy now is not only a financial thing. The way he's doing stuff, he can actually start a war. And that's the thing I think many of you all are not watching.
Oh no, he intends on starting the war.
And that's the thing you have to be prepared for. I myself, I have only one son who's 47. He wouldn't qualify for the military, but I have 2 grandsons who would qualify. Well, one won't because of his disability, even though you can't see it. The other one, he would qualify. I lived through Vietnam. I have no intentions and had no intentions of my son serving in the military, and I was a federal worker. I believe in this country. I mean, I believe I still took an oath to get paid to say that I would defend the Constitution. So, but at the same time, I don't go along with the rhetoric and the BS. But also, you have to understand what he's about to do, especially if he gets to move these monies around the way he wants to. What he's doing is very illegal. He has not done anything that is legal. Nothing he has done is legal. And he is in court currently. Everybody has him in court. The unions, the Congress, different states. I mean, everybody has him in court and trying to stop what he's going on, but what's going on. But at the same time, we as a people had better start paying attention and bracing ourselves. And again, I agree with Cy, preparing yourself for what may come down. Because even if he doesn't get to run his plan entirely, he's pissing off enough people, enough countries to really cause some real damage. And even if it's just from an economical standpoint, it could actually be very devastating to us as a people. Now, Grady's gone because I know he was talking about land, and I hate I missed him because I wanted to let him know that Gates was out here buying up farms left and right. He's buying up half the farms out here, and we don't know why. And China owns all the pig farms again now, and all the bacon you get now, you're supporting China because they bought out the pig farmers. The only ones that are left are not in the millionaire bracket. They're almost a millionaire, but they're not a millionaire. But all those that were millionaires, near billionaires, they've taken it over. It's a lot of stuff that's going on. And again, we do as a people need to talk, but I agree with someone else. When you're gonna have a subject, stay on the subject line. Maybe give it 15 minutes, maybe have an agenda, because you can't be effective when you're all over the place. And I agree. What's going on right now affects every aspect of our body, every aspect of our life. And the most important thing I've been telling people to do, money is very important, but I heard what Dr. Spivey said. Money is important, but sometimes you don't need money in order to prevail. The other thing is education. Knowledge is the thing. And if they have to go after someone and tear down someone, even you look at how they did with apartheid, they didn't just go after the voice, they also went after the person that was the most knowledgeable. Okay. That I see them doing. Because again, if they can have the knowledge and be persuasive, because you can have knowledge and not be able to persuade anybody because you can't articulate and you can't talk to them at their level. If they can do that, then those are the folks that they're going to eliminate. Those are the folks that they're going to shut down. So whatever you do, you, like Lavette said, do something structured. Come together come together not in a 1 hour session, but come together in a session where you can actually identify some things and add some structure to what it is, how you want to go forward. And have, again, a plan A and a plan B. And let people know that during the strategic planning, we may have to shift gears, and you have to shift gears and have a lot of trust. That's all. I don't want to take up too much time because I didn't mean to say all that, but.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your input, and come back next week and let's continue our journey to discuss and plan how we will address how the U.S. is changing and how we have to change to accommodate our sustainability. So I'll see you next week. Thank you. Hey. Have a great night.
You too also. Good night, everyone.
Good night.